Let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're detailing exactly how the 905 Wood Digital Refinery is using mobile edge AI to secure Ontario's place in the global circular bioeconomy. We're going to unpack this massive, fascinating intersection of cross-border trade, geopolitical tariffs, and literally cutting-edge smartphone AI. It's a really brilliant look at how physical, heavy-duty supply chains are being completely rewritten by algorithmic gatekeepers, acting as what they call a sentient bridge.
So, to really grasp the scale of the problem we're unpacking today, we first have to look at this invisible river flowing between Canada and the United States. Right now, there's an incredibly intense geopolitical situation unfolding at the border. And right in the middle of it, an enormous volume of physical material, municipal solid waste, or MSW, that honestly most people never even think about once it leaves their curb.
3.46 million. That staggering number represents the exact tonnage of municipal solid waste exported from Ontario into Michigan landfills every single year. Just picture the Ambassador Bridge in Windsor, Detroit, or the Blue Water Bridge over in Sarnia. On any given weekday morning, you have this continuous idling queue of transport trucks moving an astronomical volume of disposal material continuously southward. It's a massive logistical pipeline.
To put that into perspective, Ontario's garbage makes up 14.35% of all the waste buried in the entire state of Michigan. Think about that for a second. If Ontario were a U.S. state, it would easily rank in Michigan's top 3 waste sources by tonnage. This is a cross-border trade pipe of monumental proportions, and it deeply entwines the environmental infrastructures of both regions. They're completely linked.
Now, you might be wondering, why is this happening? Well, this extreme physical volume is sustained by extreme economic arbitrage. Look at the numbers. You have Michigan's phenomenally low 36-cent per ton tipping fee, which is largely a legacy of their deep clay geography and past deregulatory pushes. Contrast that with Toronto's skyrocketing domestic disposal costs, which currently floor at over $189 a ton. With economics like that, the waste is naturally going to flow south. It's just market gravity.
All right, so here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll map out the corridor. Second, we'll look at the 2026 crisis. Third, the Pixel 10 Pro Edge AI. Fourth, the regulatory economics. And finally, output documentation.
Section 1, the Ontario-Michigan Waste Corridor.
Section 2, the 2026 Geopolitical Trade Crisis.
So how did this routine route become such a volatile pressure cooker? We have to look impartially at the recent federal actions out of Washington. In February, the Supreme Court ruled in Learning Resources, Inc. v. Donald Trump that using the IEPA for emergency tariffs was unconstitutional. In immediate response, the Washington administration activated Section 122 of the Trade Act, slapping a 15% global surcharge on imports. And looming just ahead on August 19th is an incoming Section 338, which applies a severe 50% duty on finished Canadian wood and paper. It is an incredibly fluid, high-stakes USMCA tariff environment right now. Meanwhile, domestic pressures back in Ontario have only compounded this crisis. January saw the commercial blue box collapse, forcing businesses to scramble for private waste haulers. Then in April, Ontario Premier Doug Ford signed Bill 5, explicitly bypassing standard environmental assessments for the Dresden landfill expansion. That was a move publicly justified as protecting Ontario, just in case the U.S. border suddenly closes to its garbage. And all of this panic is driven by the looming 2034 capacity cliff, the exact year Ontario's domestic clay line landfills face total physical exhaustion.
Section 3, Pixel 10 Pro, Edge AI, and the Sentient Bridge.
Faced with this chaotic regulatory and physical landscape, how on earth do you shield trade? Enter the 905 Wood Digital Refinery. This is where it gets incredibly cool. At Layer 1 intake, a truck driver simply points a Google Pixel 10 Pro running Android 16 at the chaotic waste load. The device classifies it in under 500 milliseconds. This isn't pinging a server somewhere. This is pure edge computing. It leverages the phone's Tensor G5 processor and the Light RT AI stack to make instantaneous, highly complex regulatory compliance decisions right there in the mud of a demolition yard.
Let's break down how this application workflow builds natively on the device. First, you have the multimodal frame capture by the driver. Then, the Pixel's Edge TPU runs the Gemma 4 E2B model natively, utilizing a multi-token prediction feature for a massive speedup. It analyzes the wood instantly. If it's perfectly clean, great. But if there's any ambiguity, it immediately flags those materials into a 70 to 85% confidence zone that they call the amber band. From there, anything in that amber band automatically escalates to a much heavier 4.5 billion parameter model called the Visual Fallacy Guard. The system literally demands a dual model consensus before moving forward. If the two models disagree, the AI refuses to pass the load. It then mandates physical on-site near-infrared and X-ray fluorescence spectroscopic scanning to hunt for hidden heavy metals.
The crucial point here is verification. They are ensuring absolutely no toxins, like treated chromatid copper arsenate, slip through. The AI takes that raw spectrochemical data and instantly adjudicates it against strict statutory TCLP limits. If it detects arsenic, lead, or chromium breaching the legal limits, it automatically rejects the load's clean wood status right on the spot.
Finally, if the load is definitively proven clean, the driver just holds a button on the screen for 2 seconds. This simple UI action triggers the Pixel's hardware-level Titan M2 secure element. It cryptographically seals the precise GPS coordinates, the timestamp, and the exact AI model hash into a tamper-evident, court-admissible ledger in Alloy DB. You basically have irrefutable, unchangeable proof of exactly what is sitting in that truck.
Section 4. Autonomous Regulatory Compliance and Economics.
With the load cryptographically verified at the edge, the system secures massive economic ROI. The financial impact of Ontario's Circle levy is stark. By using this AI to conclusively prove a load is verified clean wood rather than chaotic mixed MSW, operators pay a mere $5 a ton in levies instead of a punishing $60 a ton. The technology literally pays for itself instantly just by reclassifying the material state. Let's translate that for a general contractor. That equals an incredible $1,053.23 in absolute levy avoidance savings on just a single 144-yard mothership trailer. When you start scaling that across hundreds of loads a week, the economic arbitrage completely shifts. It's no longer just hunting for cheap tipping fees in Michigan. It's aggressively utilizing AI to legally avoid domestic taxation. It's a total game changer.
And finally, Section 5. Output documentation and explainable compliance. So how do you actually prove this to border agents facing strict new tariff mandates? The UI/UX output of the digital refinery instantly compiles a unified PDF package that serves as a literal shield. It hands a driver everything they could possibly need, from automated requests for quotes to digitally signed electronic hazardous waste manifests, all the way to zero-levy ESG report cards and airtight customs documentation. This specific document, the USMCA Shield Certificate of Origin, is absolutely vital for surviving the 2026 trade crisis. By providing a cryptographic, 9-point audit trail that firmly classifies the material as clean wood under the CUSMA exempt Harmonized System Code 3825.0, 9.5 wood shipments can completely bypass those severe 50% duties and tariffs waiting for them at the Ambassador Bridge.
But it doesn't stop there. Simultaneously, the platform generates a registry entry that transforms what used to be a disposal liability into a premium digital asset. It links that Titan M2 hardware signature directly to the global voluntary carbon market. Suddenly, verified clean construction wood is a high-purity biocarbon asset capable of generating a genuine carbon dividend.
As the source material elegantly points out, the cross-border pipe itself remains open. But instead of shipping anonymous, chaotic trash that immediately invites tariffs, it's now shipping meticulously verified, highly valuable, tariff-exempt biocarbon feedstock. The technology completely reinvents the nature of the cargo. To quote the research directly, the corridor is not the problem. The corridor is the pipe. The digital refinery is what changes what flows through the pipe.
It really leaves us with a massive question to ponder. As mobile edge computing becomes this sentient bridge, verifying reality in less than 500 milliseconds, how will the physical realities of global trade change forever? Because if a smartphone running a light RT AI stack can successfully navigate a complex geopolitical trade war over municipal waste, well, every single supply chain on Earth is about to be rewritten.